What's going on, everybody? My name's Nathaniel Scrambles Virginiac. With me, per usual, even though it's the first time,
Skylar Duverongo Roberts.
We are the co-founders of Recruit Rivals, an online-based recruiting platform for potential collegiate esports athletes who are looking to optimize taking steps at the next level. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so we've been getting some decent traction lately, and we're looking to expand everything, and we thought it would be a good idea to just kind of sit down and make something to talk to y'all about what we got going on, what we want to do, and where we see this thing moving forward, and most importantly, how you as a recruit, a recruiter, a parent, or any role in between can leverage us to help you in your given situation. So we get questions all the time. We've grabbed a couple of those, and we look to do like a few of these. You know what I mean? Where we just give you small bits of information. Because if one person's asking us, then there's got to be at least 10 more out there wondering the same thing. So instead of making everyone just email us, we'll take all that, we'll put it together, and every other week or so we'll put one of these out. We also hope to do more in the realm of podcasting and getting information out there about some of the tournaments as far as the high school and the collegiate levels go. So that way, if you're participating in them, hopefully it helps gain you more exposure for the next step. And if you're not participating in them, you can learn that they exist and hopefully participate in them in the future. So basically, one of our big things is just gaining awareness on every level for you guys who are trying to come up and trying to, follow that path to pro that doesn't really exist for esports like it does with traditional sports. Everyone understands how it works if you say, I want to play football or I want to play basketball or something like that, but no one understands, like, I want to be the next Jensen. What do you do for that? There's nothing laid out on paper on how to make that happen. So hopefully, between us and you guys and everyone who helps us behind the scenes, we can kind of help bring some clarity to that. So just to help give you guys some context about us ourselves, just so it's not just like two total strangers harping at you, we'll just kind of go through a little bit of our background. Let's see. Well, I originally started playing video games, back in the 80s. To be honest, the first console I had was an Atari 2600. So, yeah, y'all don't know nothing about that unless you use Google, which is fine. And honestly, like, just looking at it, like, I think that's what drives me a lot for this is the fact, like, these are things. This is a program, and these are opportunities I wish I had when I was coming up, back when I graduated high school in 1999, and there certainly wasn't anything like this. People still laugh about it today, and they definitely would have back then, but had something like this been around, had these opportunities been around back when I graduated high school, man, that's all I could have asked for,
It's a life changer. I didn't even have this in 2011.
Right. So just the fact that, here we are in 2018, and it still doesn't really exist, but we want it to exist, is kind of what helps drive me to make this want to happen. But yeah, it's just same old song and dance as far as, like, I started when I was a kid. I just played video games, my parents were indifferent about it, which was really cool. Like, they weren't super supportive, but at the same time, they didn't hold me back or hinder me about playing video games. You know what I mean?
One of the lucky ones.
Yeah, I hear that. Outside of that, I raided in WoW for quite a bit. For about 5 years, it was pretty hard. I started back in Wrath of the Lich King, and that's where really more the competitive edge kind of came to. That's where I found out, like, I could take, like, this competitive nature that I naturally have, and then this thing about video games that I've done my whole life and I've enjoyed, and that's kind of when they came together, when I found out what, like, in-game rating was and how competitive that scene could be. And then it just transitioned into MOBAs by way of Blizzard giving me an alpha key for Heroes of the Storm. I didn't play MOBAs, and they gave me a key, and I was like, that's kind of a waste. What kind of feedback am I going to give you? But I started playing it, and it was fun. It was kind of like League with training wheels, in my opinion, because you don't buy items. There's no real decision making. You run around like an idiot and press your buttons. But it's super fun. So, it's kind of like that gateway MOBA. And then a couple buddies got me playing League. And honestly, like, my buddies tried to get me to play League for years, and I just wouldn't do it. But like, I decided I wanted to apply for different jobs, in that industry. And I went to Riot Games website and I went to their careers, and I found a few different positions that I felt good that I qualified for, and they have like a St. Louis office and stuff. And I was like, well, we could do that, or California. But the one reason like I couldn't apply for any job for Riot Games was I did not have a summoner name. I did not have an account. Like, you have to tell them on your job app, these are my accounts, and I'm sure they go check them for toxicity or something, but it didn't even exist. So I literally started playing League because my friends wanted me to, and because I wanted to apply for a couple of these jobs.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. So here I am a couple years after that. Still don't work for Riot Games, but, I play a decent amount of League.
Now we can help these guys, though.
Yeah. Now we get to help you guys, hopefully, again, take advantages of opportunities I wish would have been a thing back when I was a kid. So let's talk about Devronga. Many of you probably correspond with him via email or DM in Discord, something like that.
Tons of Discord messages.
Yeah, which is fine. Please keep those coming. What initially got you going as far as just video gaming in general?
Well, back when I was a little kid, my cousin taught me how to build my first computer and got me really into video games when I was 7. Hell, that was in the year 2000. Y2K. Ooh. So it was a big experience for me because I actually got to socialize with my cousins. At the time, family was a little split, but that really brought everybody together so we could have a lot of fun together and be a unit.
That's cool. So it kind of grew out of a family activity. What would you say was the thing where it took off on like your own though? When did you grow into yourself as a gamer?
Oh man. PC gaming adapted into console gaming, and now it's sort of like coming back to PC. But that transition probably happened whenever like Modern Warfare 2 came out with Call of Duty. I'm sure you guys are super stoked about Black Ops 4. But being able to go online with my friends, play in that competitive nature, the competitive scene between that and then Halo, it was just a blast. So that's really where I took off personally to start trying to better myself in the gaming industry.
So a lot of questions we get revolve around colleges and the different types of programs they have, and there are a few main distinctions that you guys need to be aware of when you're looking at these opportunities. And this is why we call them opportunities, because again, with traditional sports, you talk about playing on the football team. Everyone kind of gets what that is. That's a varsity sport. It's a varsity program. A lot of colleges right now have esports programs. They have esports clubs, but they may not be varsity. So a lot of questions we get are, what does that mean? So what does that mean?
So with the club level programs, they are recognized by the school as a club. They most likely raise their own funding. They might get a little bit from the school, but not much. And those tend not to have scholarships derived directly from the school, but they might have scholarships coming from competitive play. If you win, Heroes of the Dorm or College League of Legends, you would get that money as a scholarship. That's really the basis of clubs. Now, varsity, on the other hand, being a verified varsity esports program, you're going to be fully backed by that school. You will also most likely receive some sort of scholarship from the school directly on top of any winnings and earnings that you get from College League of Legends, Heroes of the Dorm, any AVGL program that you compete in, and so on.
Right. So something for the recruits out there. Definitely something to keep in mind when you're talking to, when you're talking to recruiters. If a coach approaches you, something like that, and they say, hey, I want you to come play for my school, a good question, maybe not to ask, right off the bat, but at some point relatively soon would be if it's a varsity program or if it's more of like a club or an association or something like that.
Most definitely.
Another question that we receive fairly often is like, what happens after I sign up for Recruit Rivals? Because you've gone to our website, thank you. You've filled it out. You may have even noticed some changes. Like if you were one of like our super early adopters, I mean, it started out as like just a Google spreadsheet, you know what I mean? So it's already grown into so much more than that, which is really nice. So thank you to everyone who gave us the opportunity to move it forward so quickly. But in the current context, in the current process, and this is, Thanksgiving weekend and stuff, we took the website down to make more updates. What does that look like today if someone signs up for Recruit Rivals?
Yeah, so whenever a recruit or a student, somebody that wants to go to college signs up for Recruit Rivals, you get put into our collegiate database. That collegiate database can be viewed by all of the colleges in our system. So they can go through, look at your player profiles, your IGNs, and compare you to everybody else in the database. One thing that makes Recruit Rivals a little unique is to be put at the top of the databases. It gives you more viewership, and to do that, all you have to do is make sure your profile is updated, which is amazing.
Right. So one thing that we talk about internally that we want people that are hungry, you know what I mean, on both sides of the fence, the recruiters and the recruits that like want these opportunities and they want to find these kids, and we're trying to develop ways to reward that, so it's not just like looking at someone's op.gg, it's not just looking at their solo queue and things like that, you know what I mean, because there are different immeasurable things that a recruit can possess that don't necessarily translate from an op.gg link. You know what I mean? You can't just look at their profile and you can't just understand, this kid's heart and this kid's will to win. So one of the things looking to moving forward is not only just having the raw data available. We pull from Riot's API, so we can get you guys any of the raw data that you want, but we want to be able to help people that want to help themselves, so to speak. So be looking for things like that. It's kind of like what Skylar said, where if you log in and you update your profile, that's going to bump you to the top. You know what I mean? If someone goes in and there's just going to be different little things that are built in, so that way we can reward different activities besides just playing well, even though that does matter, and that is something you should focus on. You should always want to play well. I've talked to recruits where like they sign up and they provide their IGN. We have the summoner name on file, and I encourage them. I'm like, please don't troll. You know what I mean? It's preseason right now. I get it. And sure, Karthus is viable in every single role, but it doesn't necessarily mean you want to go, AD crit Karthus playing support, under this profile that you've registered for college recruiters to look at.
No bueno.
Maybe you don't want to get that profile chat banned. You know what I mean? Maybe we just kind of like take that profile a little more seriously. And if you want to have, a little side profile where you play Teemo jungle or something, that's fine. Go do that. But in the context of what you sign up for with us, that helps me on my end when you take that profile seriously. So I guess under the context of what to expect after you sign up, expect to take that profile seriously a little bit if you want a serious college opportunity. If you're not so serious about it, then hey, I get it. You play for fun, that's great. Go play for fun. But the people that want it, the people like me back in 1999 who would have, jumped at the opportunity for this, those are the people that we want to reward, and those are the people we're going to find out ways to develop to help you get what you're looking for at the next level.
100%. And on the lines of that, updating your profile and keeping that mentality of wanting to move on to that next level, coaches understand that and they realize that. With our profile, we expect the coaches to reach out directly to you. So the information that you supply us, like your phone number, your email address, etc. You want to make sure those are accurate, so that way these coaches can directly reach out to you. I have coaches tell me all the time, hey man, I can't get a hold of this person. Unfortunately, I can't help the student, because if they don't supply me with the correct information, we're out of luck. So make sure that stuff is very accurate, stay on point, and play well.
And it's secure. We've gone to lengths to ensure that there's protocol in place where that information isn't all out willy-nilly. You know what I mean? And we don't sell it to anybody. We don't go to any third-party marketers, you know what I mean, and hawk a list to them or anything like that. So if you start receiving spam after you sign up for us, there's something else, because it wasn't us.
Yeah, most definitely. And if you do, just let us know as well. We love feedback. So anything that you believe would help you or would help us, shoot us an email, shoot me personally a DM. All of our contact information is on our website.
Yeah. I think another thing that comes up a little bit is, and this is kind of goes off of what we're just talking about with performance, solo queue and stuff like that. Get involved in some tournaments locally, or even if it's just little one-off things, something like that. Like here in Oklahoma, we have the OKLCS. There's League KC, which was out of Kansas for a while. There's different things you can get involved with, and that gives you another. That's just another layer of the onion, because that's organized competitive competition, which is something coaches value, because the best player in solo queue may not be a great teammate, whereas maybe you got some Silver 4 running around who thrives in a competitive environment. I mean, that's a little bit of extreme, but
that's actually something we coaches requested directly of us, is to add that layer of, do these kids have competitive experience? Do they know how to play in a competitive environment? So that's why we added that into the profile, is, do you have that experience? So something you definitely want to do if you aren't already. If you are, keep doing it. So
this is an email directly from a parent, which we encourage. If you're a parent out there, please use us as a resource. One of the things that we value a lot is making sure, because I'm a parent, my oldest is 15, and really starting to look into, what am I going to do with my life? What college am I going to go to? What major am I going to take? Stuff like that. So I feel like I'm in a unique position for this, because I'm in the same shoes that you're in as a parent with a child looking at college opportunities. But at the same time, I'm more attached to the esports thing. I'm more attached to the video game realm, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? So if you need someone, to kind of translate esports stuff into parent stuff, just give me an email, send me a Discord message if you're a parent. You know what that is. All right, so. Sarah emailed us, and her email, and generalize this for yourselves. Obviously not everyone's going to go to the same school, but apply your high school here, whether you may or may not have an esports program there. My son is in 8th grade, and he wanted to know more information about high school esports. We live in Bolingbrook, and he would attend Bolingbrook High School. Are there combined town teams for schools that do not have a team of their own? Also, are there private clubs as well? We would like to connect with someone who could answer a few questions we have. Thanks for your help.
Yeah, so Sarah, great question. A couple different things. I'll answer your question directly, and then we'll spin off into a little bit more. As far as combined town teams, I am unaware of any combined town teams. Some smaller schools might come together and form a club of some sorts, but that would be more of like a private club, not necessarily a full high school competitive environment.
Yeah, that's how it starts, right? A lot of the colleges, some inside baseball, a lot of the colleges that we work with and that we talk to are fighting the same fight. Like we talked about the difference between a varsity program and a club. A lot of those clubs want to be varsity programs, and they'll ask us for some reason. They're like, how do we do that? I'm like, oh. But there's one universal answer that can fix that for a high school, that can fix that for a college, and that's win something. Go out there, be involved. We talked about, like in Oklahoma, there's the OKLCS. There are other tournaments like that around. You can use different websites to find tournaments. Just keep your eyes and your ears open. Talk to your local colleges who have programs and say, what tournaments are around? What can we play in? What can, my kid's in 8th grade. He wants to move forward in the future. What can he do right now to put himself in a position to take advantage of that when that time comes? And they can give you references, but absolutely be involved, be playing, and win something. If you want to have a high school team and it doesn't exist, start winning as an individual. Get a group of your friends together that go to the same school, enter those tournaments, and do well. Like, people, they don't understand the context of esports. Again, you can say football, people are on board. You say esports, there's like, I don't know, it's video games. But one thing that they can relate to is winning.
Most definitely.
We won. We're notable for this reason. We played in this tournament against these people who are, older than us or better than us or just whatever. And we won. We won representing our town. In this scenario, you'd be like, we won repping Bolingbrook, you know what I mean? And everyone, we're on the map now as far as esports goes, and we're winner. Like, that's something that they can relate to, even if they don't understand the context of esports and what it is right now and what it's going to be tomorrow.
100%. And as far as Bolingbrook in particular, as far as my sources go and everything that I've looked at, I am unsure if Bolingbrook High School has a esports club of their own. That'd be something that you'd want to talk to maybe a counselor about, or some of the administration at the high school to see if there is a facilitated gaming club or esports club. Now, if there's not, there are resources out there to help you. You can always reach out to us at info@recruitrivals.com. One of our friends, our company friends, is the High School Esports League. They're by far the biggest high school esports league in the nation. They can also help you, facilitate you, and move you forward from the high school level.
That might be what that conversation looks like. You know what I mean? It might start off, hey, me and my buddies, we play this game. We play League of Legends, and we won this tournament. We would like to form a club. The answer should always be awesome. Whenever you go to your school and you ask the principal, the superintendent, counselor, whoever, you ask them, hey, do we have an esports club? And they're like, yes. You go, awesome. Who's in charge? How do I sign up? And they go, no. You say, awesome. And then you say, how do I start it? You know what I mean? Like, what paperwork do I got to fill out? What hoops do I got to jump through? What red tape do I have to navigate? Like, just figure out what it is you got to do to either join the club or start the club. And that's where it starts. Then enter tournaments, win tournaments. Get a whole HSEL, win that. You know what I mean? Move forward. Get college recruiters' attention. Say, I'm a good teammate. I'm a good player. I'm all around good guy. I've got a good GPA and a nice head on my shoulders. Then you get a college scholarship. Now you're going to a D1 school. You're getting a good education. So even if you don't turn out to be, Jensen or Faker or something like that, now you got a good job and you're set up for life, all because you played video games.
And you hustled. That's a big thing that
you worked hard.
Yeah, that colleges look at, and even beyond that, if you hustle, you get the job done, you have that awesome mentality of, if there isn't one, I'm going to make it. Colleges look at that, owners of companies, people that are offering jobs look at that. They want to see you work hard, they want to see you play hard, and have a lot of fun, so.
Yeah, 100%. And again, that's what we look to reward. We haven't developed all the ways. We've talked about different things. We haven't implemented everything we want yet, but like, if you want Recruit Rivals to be a key or be a tool to that success and be involved in that story on your path to pro or your path to a good education and a great job, either way, that's a win. That's a win for you in life, and that's a win for us as a company. So if you want us to be a part of that, just be looking out, keep coming back, pay attention to, sometimes if we send out spam or something, because it may have information about how we're going to be able to help you and be able to reward you just for working hard. You don't have to be top 200. You don't have to be challenger. You don't have to have 1200 LP. You know what I mean? You don't have to be rank 1. You got to be above silver probably, but
for league anyways.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's got to be a little bit of context there. There's got to be a little bit of competency. There's got to be a nugget of natural something. You got to have a little bit 100%. Of it on your own, and then let us help you take it and just like blow it up into something bigger. So the last question we're going to go over today Just has to do with eligibility, if you will. Like we get questions about what's the earliest age or what's the best age to sign up. For Recruit Rivals, what's the earliest age? What's the best age to start looking into college programs? Things like that. People asking about what the minimum requirements are as far as gameplay and things like that. And the answer is it varies. I mean, every college coach may be looking for something different as far as when's the age now. I mean, it's just like if you were gonna traditional sports, if you were gonna go play basketball and you wanted to play for OU or something like that, if you wanted to play football for Notre Dame, when are you gonna start working for that? Well, the answer is as soon as you're cognizant that that's what you want to do.
Exists, yeah.
As soon as you identify this is for me, I'm Rudy, I want to play for Notre Dame. That's when you start. That's the age. That's the moment.
As long as you're 13 or older. Keep that in mind.
Legally speaking.
Yes. As
long as you're 13 or older. So there you go. But that's not to say 12 and under can't work towards that.
100%.
You definitely can. You can take the steps that you need to take. I guess, yeah. The legal answer is 13. The Rudy answer is now. Whatever that is for you, it's right now.
We have some colleges that won't even look at seniors. So there are colleges out there that want you to start applying earlier and earlier, so that way they can make sure what the college's requirements are to actually attend that college. Mm-hmm. So not just, not saying that if you're a senior don't apply, because there are tons of colleges that still, look at you and need recruits, but the earlier the better.
Yeah, 100%. So, and again, the step one for anything in life is identifying what I want. This is what I want. I want to play for UC Berkeley. You know what I mean? I want to play for UC Irvine. I want to play for
Columbia.
If you identify one of those esports programs that's on the map right now, and you want to be the next person to go there, that's what you start working for. You've identified. The second step is just deciding how far you'll go to get it. Will I skip out on hanging out with my buddies to practice? Will I skip out on hanging out with my buddies to do my homework? Because they want good GPAs and stuff too. 100%. You know what I mean? They don't want to get some ballin' recruit in there, just like football and stuff, just so you become academically ineligible. And, a little bit of the stereotype here is the opposite of traditional sports, though. They expect you to be smart, because you play video game, because you're in esports, and they carry that context with them of you should be intelligent. So they have expectations of you as far as GPAs and as far as how you carry yourself and things like that. So be cognizant of that as well. That's something that they look forward to. So identify what you want, identify how far you'll go to get it, and then you just got to do it. You make a game plan and you follow that day to day.
As far as eligibility goes for gameplay and stats and stuff, colleges aren't only looking for players. You have to really grasp that idea. They are looking also for shoutcasters, people that can manage a team.
Pro tip right there.
100%. So keep an eye out for whenever you are applying. You might not be, the best League of Legends player or best Heroes of the Storm player, but you have your stuff together and you can manage a team. That is big for colleges. You can shoutcast, you can be on a podcast. That's big for colleges because they're also looking to
the infrastructure of it all. Yeah. It's not just the players that they need everything. Think about everything that goes into an LCS broadcast, from the lighting, the production, the shoutcasting, the analysts, Dash hosts the desk and stuff like that. They need all of that. They want all of that in place. You know what I mean? If you look at an LCS broadcast and everything that goes into it, and then you just translate that to the collegiate level, they want that. They need those people. So maybe you're Silver 3, but you know a lot about the game. You're entertaining, and you're good at talking to people. That is an open door. Maybe you don't play for them, but maybe you shoutcast for them. Something like that. So, if you're married to playing, that's fine. Improve on that. But if you're open to just the opportunity to be in esports and you're not, just married to the dream, but you're open to opportunities that may take you just like a little bit of a different direction, those exist as well, and we can help out with those also. So I mean, the worst thing you can do is just like nothing. But email us, Discord messages, fill out the form, do everything you can, kick, scream, and make noise, and you'll get noticed. So that's something we'll try to do week to week or maybe bi-weekly, just kind of depending on when we get new questions and new information in. Hopefully people will view these enough that we don't need to go over the same information, which we will if that's okay. If we keep getting the same questions, then we will keep answering them. But hopefully that'll take care of most of everything I think we've got up until this point. So please keep your questions coming, though, because if we didn't answer it, maybe you got a different question or just a different take in general on the college scene, the esports scene, something like that. Just hit us up, let us know, and we'll talk about it. We plan on putting these out fairly regularly. And yeah, I mean, we're here to service you guys. That's the bottom line. This is just way easier to do than typing out a bunch of emails, which we'll still do. But again, other people probably have the same questions. So hit us up. We'll be as transparent and as open as possible through the process. If you're a parent and you have questions or concerns about like, hey, my kid just got contacted by a recruiter, what do I do? You know what I mean? Is this real? Can he really get money out of this thing? Like, can he get a college education, The answer is probably yes, but like if you need some reassurance or something, send it our way. We have contacts with tons of coaches, and if we don't have contact with that coach, we can get contact with that coach. So
very easily.
Yeah. So just let us know any questions, comments, concerns from any level. We'll be more than happy to answer them. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah. I'm at the bar going hard.